They'll be calling you a radical about the Fukushima, and anybody who ever doubted one single fucking word that I've said since 3/11/11. Everyone who ever doubted the fucking malice, the lies, the thesis, the whole Pacific genocide, here it is. RT's confirming that TEPCO just says, fuck it, we quit. It's not working anyway. Fuck it, just flooding out into the tanks. The fuck, like you said, you do the math in the tanks, you got 100,000 anyway. There it is, right in your face. They're to the point, they don't even believe the contemporary sheep. The sheep are so fucking far gone, they don't even believe it. They're like, this is way too fucking easy. Fuck, we had a little bit of a fight and had to spend some fucking money in the Chernobyl fucking lie. This fuck, you could tell these fucking donkey fucking sheep right in their fucking face. I got in an argument today with a high school science teacher. Oh, at the science fair, I'm a judge. You know, and he was rating these people on, some young students did a presentation on nuclear. I attended, I'm like, really? You know, me and my grandson are there, you know, and I had to really watch my language to really not snap because of the kids were all there. And I'm like, you know, very cordially, I'm like, really? You're teaching these kids that the answer to dirty coal is nuclear? You know, why don't you just say no cyanide, let's give them arsenic? I'm like, what part of Fukushima do you not get? Then one of the 15, 14-year-old kids looked right at the teacher, sitting right at the table, looked at her and he says, yeah, what part of Fukushima don't you get? He said to the teacher. The teacher says, well, call that, you know, this kid let him have it. I didn't have to do it. I got to tell you, I have some really great news. You know, talk about the time, and I got this in the mail today. Oh, I love that. The yellow cloth, and read what it says. Good news about good people. I got really amazing news a couple days ago. 808 days on the acute list. The hospital took me off the acute list. They took me off the disabled list. They took me off the acute list. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal, you know. This fight's been so horribly intense. You know, the last video that I did, you know, I got to tell you this story. You know, people listen to my radio show understand it. I've had the physical graffiti piece of art, which I think all of us as baby boomers back in the, I bet, not as much as the music, which the music is incredible, but as the piece of art itself. This piece of art to me means so much. The word physical graffiti, the piece of art itself, in a lot of ways. And I could do a whole freaking, I could teach an entire class just on this piece of art. You know, in so many ways. I mean, it's genius. It's genius. The word physical graffiti itself is, like Thomas Ackerman likes to say about post-ignorance, elegant. Yeah, yeah. The word may be elegant, but if I'm elegant, then what are you? When Mick Jagger did Just Waiting on a Friend's in that building, it's been in my head, you know, what did he do that in the early 80s? And I went on that and I talked about Mick Jagger's girlfriend, the designer, tragically killed herself. And about an hour and a half after I put that video up, I'm like, someone's really, you know, because I'd seen it and I never really read through it, you know. And well, I have a very close, loving, beautiful childhood friend who grew up out here, named Luann, who I absolutely adored. She bolted out of here at 19 to become this incredible runway model, this incredible giant, this incredible story. She was never born into wealth. Where everybody around here, all my friends and everything, we've all just been, wow, she's like our idol. Everybody's, I mean, I loved her so much when she was getting, I'm like, you know, I didn't think about it. It didn't cross my mind that she was dating Dick Jagger. And I Googled it in and I'm like, oh my God. It just shows that through this very acute, intense fight, even before I got leukemia, that my subconscious is just sucking up, and I've gone with it. This art, I've let my subconscious float out of my mouth. I've just let it go, and that's what I think as an artist, as a so-called journalist, as just a human being, just a person, you know, sitting around having a conversation with friends or loved ones or family. Isn't that what we're supposed to be? I've tried to be exactly the counter opposite to what we've turned into. This hairspray to be sitting behind you. Oh, now let's check the weather. And the passive aggressive that has nothing personal about it. You don't understand anything about their personal life. So I've went really over the top as far as to my personal life. I've been completely contrary and completely opposite of that. I got to tell you, after I did that video, and I drove right over to the house that she grew up when we were kids. You know, she hasn't left my mind for one freaking second. It's a heartbreaking, heartbreaking, heartbreaking end to one magnificent, magnificent story. One magnificent, brilliant woman. That girl who bolted out of here and says, watch me. I don't fucking fit in here, watch me. Not born into privilege. The American dream, as the American dream's been hijacked, gone. So I got thinking, you know, when I was doing my radio show, and it hit me. You know, because I've always tried to come up with a word, what my videos are, what this genre is, what they are, what it is, and then it hit me. The visual blues. You know, when we were young, her and I, you know, in our whole little group out here in Western Weaver County on the edge of the lake in this big, romantic, beautiful place, it was incredible. America was an incredible place there. Come on, come on. The 1970s? Wow, wow. You know, working class had wealth, they had money, they had art, they had we had, oh my God, think about the art, the literature. I mean, wow. You know, we're taught, you work hard, you hang on to your dreams, the American dream. She was the American dream. Literally the American dream. Here's this young girl, not even born, adopted, not even born into privilege, with, you know, this tall girl that just, boom, watch this. Like a hot flame, just says, I'm going to do it. You know, she leaves here. I remember when she left here and worked, oh my God, look at her. She goes from that to just this overnight sensation on the runways of Paris. Now, and she was so much more than that, and then boom, into this incredible designer. The American dream, you know. And you got, when we were, they said, Jagger had to be one of the most popular people in the world. I was so sick of the Stones back in the 70s and the 80s because that's all you heard on the radio over and over. As I've gotten older, I understand they're the blues. You know, they really are. The London blues is, wow. People say, oh, she took her life because of, you know, the debt. She took her life because they stole her passion. Her entire life since she was a little girl, since she was a young girl. Fashion. Boy, was she good at it. Boy, was she great at it. You know, I think it ties in so well to my trip to the sad endings of these girls to New York. I have a really, really, really strong feeling about New York. I'm going to do what I wanted to do 3 years ago. I'm going to do exactly what I wanted to do 3 years ago. Stand there with my post-ignorant sign, you know, and talk about us as a people, as an American conscience, as a North American conscience, as a European, Western European, as how we've just given up all our morality, our integrity, and crushed the American dream. Crushed all our dreams by the enslavement of young girls in factories in Bangladesh. As we murder them, but that's different. No, it's not different. I wanted to time my post-ignorance social movement, my art, to the 100th anniversary of that tragic, tragic thing that changed the world. 2 weeks before that, 3/11/11. Talk about change, your world, my world, our world, forever. People can look back in my rants, my intensity, my fight. I think, hopefully, people are going to be able to look at not just me the way I told it, in a very extreme way, an intense way, from the day it happened, in incredible Cassandra-like accuracy. The accuracy, incredible. But the army and the community that we build around us, in a very, I gave out my name and my address. I check my mailbox every day. I mean, it's almost like Christmas every day, the gifts I get. The little gifts, these shoes I got in the mail. Like I said, that card. I mean, how great is that card? How great is that? The yellow cloth. I mean, look at that. I mean, good news. And, you know, when I got the news Monday, or was it Tuesday morning, Monday night, you know, and I had her on my mind because thinking, you know, I didn't know whether to cry tears of joy or tears of happiness. You know, the emotions have been really all over the place for me I mean, I thought for sure when I did this video I would just absolutely break down and cry. I mean, people that have watched my videos from the beginning, because this really has been so intimate with my fight, was I got sick that day. I was laying in here on the bathroom floor after I got sent home from the hospital the second time. You know, they kept me aside and I passed. I'm a tough guy. Severed tongue, broken back. I've done a lot of things with my life. I passed out from pain on the bathroom floor. For me to pass out from pain, I mean, I don't ever recall being knocked out. I was out. My brother found me and he says, "My God, look at you." And I says, "Yeah, I'm losing 6-7 pounds a day. They can't figure it out. You know, they say it's an ulcer. They say it's this. They say it's carcinoid cancer." And, you know, he stepped in, Vincent Hansen, saved my life. I was thinking about that day that I was laying there. Today, I was thinking about it. This whole fight and this whole Fukushima fight, and I thought about, I stood right here and I made this shirt one day at a time, and you know, you guys can look at them earlier. It's like, you know, I used to draw my own shirts and make that, you know, PU, you know, Fukushima, and I'd write, you know, made these homemade t-shirts, and I made that shirt one day at a time, scratched it out, wore it, and I was so sick, and I was like, God, I was just so, my entire path, 808 days since I did get sick, I think back on it, the intensity, my God. Then I fall back as I start to get happy and I start to get joyful. Then I start to think us little kids, a whole group of us that she grew up with, that we grew up in western Weber County out here. As we knew we were the downwinders, there was a whole group of us out here that we grew up together. We got sick at the same time. Mrs. Lausier, Paul, Judy, you know, of course Carla, Gail. We got sick. Gail got sick the same time I got sick. He got sick in his brain. I'm the only one left alive out of that group. We all grew up here. We all grew up together. It's the visual blues. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. You know, and I thought, my doctors, when they talked to me, and they says, "Wow, Kevin, this is an incredible journey of yours. I did this without a bone marrow transplant willingly, you know, and I weaned myself off all the drugs. I'd work with the pharmacist. What do I need this one for? Well, nope, I'm off it. Why do you think?" My doctor's like, "Really, you weaned?" Yeah, I just, you know, if it wasn't life or death, I just went off them. And I did it, as you guys have been able to watch, I did it through my art. I did it through this vlog. I did it through the Poetry of Anger. I did it through the visual blues. I did it through my hike. I did it through my intensity, my letting the world know about Fukushima. And I look back on it, you go back all the videos, people can say whatever they want, it doesn't really matter, because it's really not about, we like your style, we like your heart, it's really about getting the facts right. I look back and I go in those videos, it's impossible what I did, in so many ways. I got it right. I got it right, I took chances, and I want to say this, and I know this, and I've known this from in the early days when I started going crazy about Fukushima, getting thousands of emails, thousands. I was the voice. I really was the voice, and so anybody came to me. I have connections in Japan that were developed at the time. Now we know the fascism, repression, you know, the gag or bullshit that, you know, the United States of, I pledge allegiance to the United States of nuclearism. I pledge allegiance to the United States of General Electric. I pledge allegiance to the United States of Monsanto. I pledge allegiance to the United States of Goldman Sachs. You know, I don't pledge allegiance to fucking no one or no how, and never will. I thought about this, and I'm like, you know, I've been involved with some incredible females in my life. I think about my daughters, I'm like, well, they sure didn't get those looks from me. By that way, my ex-wife, Luann, they're related. Incredible people. But for anyone to hang with me, I think about her and I wonder if the Bangladesh thesis was in her head as she tried to recover. Now, why wouldn't she try to recover? She gets in debt. As the business model, as a designer, as an artist, you do all the right things. Yeah, you get down, you come back up. Isn't it the American dream? Isn't it always been the American story? Young flame burns up hot, gets strong. Young flame burns out, blows up, crashes, burns down, almost gets killed, digs it, wiped out, broke, stomped down, kicked down. Returns this time, becomes the great American story. But what's different this time? I'm sure she thought she could always return as the great. Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she? A young girl born on the landscape with not one single penny, with not one piece of privilege to do what she did? Are you kidding? She kicked those fucking oligarchs' fucking door down. She cooked that fuck. She crashed that fucking party. That's what I've tried to fucking do. But I never, ever, my entire life, anybody that knows me from the time I was a very young man, I knew Rabi personally, I knew Stegner personally. I was so involved in I was so involved in the environment, I was so connected with the environment. I never wavered. I never fucking wavered. Even when I was on Wall Street, I never fucking wavered. That's hard to stay with a person like that, because it's abstract from contemporary popular culture, and everybody wants to compete, ultra competitiveness gone amok, and the females have gotten even worse than the males. You know, let's see how big a fake breast we can get, how much Botox we can get. Let's see about the biggest fake. Not me. You know, I've had success, but that was the byproduct, not the tool. It doesn't matter. It is about standing on the truth side, on moral integrity. That's why I'm going. I think about this a lot. I think the bottom line of Fukushima comes down to this. Megan Rice did her gig at Y12 after Fukushima. I think she knew it was that important. For her to go into Y12, you know what kind of fucking guts that fucking took? I mean, my God. I remember the day she did it and somebody emailed me and I'm like, I was dancing. I says, I can't fucking believe they did it. I can't believe they got away with it. I was like, how did they even get in? You know, I didn't realize that we were being scammed on security on the, most dangerous plutonium in the world. But I think about this: her torture, her lack of due process, not even knowing where she is. Everything that I did, sitting in that courtroom. And listening to her. And then when I read her speech, she let that little Timothy have it. Mary and Evelyn Tucker walking out of the courtroom right after, and reaching down and hugging me after she gave that incredible, incredible speech. Megan Rice and Greg and Michael have to be heartbroken right now. Not because of what they did. Not because of the jail sentence. Because of the American populace. I'm sure they thought the reaction would be thousands of times what it's been. I did. I thought the reaction of Fukushima would be many thousands of times than what it's been. I thought a lot of things. But I surely did not think that we would be talking 3 years after the fact and I would be given a second chance. You go, whoop! Paul, these people that passed were not given a second chance. And I will be able to go back to that sacred, hallowed ground where those girls jumped to their deaths. And America become, New York City become a gasp. The world become a gasp. I think that New York City, I'm going to get a chance to reboot. And I can see the change in the activism world over my fight, my path, all this activism I've done in the last year. I look back at, wow, oh my God, wow, some of the things I've done and some of the places I've been, and holy cow, wow, 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 wow. It's amazing, really amazing. But as I get a second chance, my daughter's like, Kevin, it's like you're 18 years old, 19. It's like, it really is. My children are raised, my family, I don't have a lot of debt, I don't have, just like when I was 18. But the difference is, when I was 18 in 1978, like her, when she was young, all these opportunities. You went out there and you took them, because our parents gave us opportunities. They're not out there anymore. And I think the usury economy, the science fiction economics, the meltdowns of Fukushima, which is the top of the heap, it all ties together, is human rights. We have the right to breathe clean air. We have the right to eat clean food. It's gone. It's gone. Now, I know there was a protest at Plymouth today, the Plymouth Courthouse in Boston. I've got some really great photographs of it. I see that activism is changing. I hope that I was a big piece of that. I think that I was a piece of that. I think that my art really has changed people. And I see it now. I see the people that come to me now in the phone calls. I mean, my art little army, the post-ignorance army, I call it, whatever it is. Wow. They're brilliant. They're articulate. They got strong backs and know how to work. They're out there. They show up at my events. They're there. I think we are going to change the world. I think I got a second chance for that very reason. Not many people get a second chance. You know, very, very, very emotional the last 48 hours. I mean, I really feel like, I honestly do, I really feel like that maybe not just with my health, but with humanity. Can we really get lower? Can it really get worse? You know, gonna happen? Are we really starting to? I do. I honestly, seriously, in my soul, believe that the small group of us, you out there, I really believe that you've made a difference. And I really believe that that flame is flickering. We burn grass fires out here across